Everybody?
I love it.
Yes, sir.
That's the formula. All right? Good night.
Algebra.
I'm going to talk a little bit more about that, but I wanted you guys to, a couple of you guys to know this, but in order to understand how fast speed induction works, you'll need to understand that we're working with the conscious mind and we're also working with the unconscious mind. And a fast speed induction in the terms that I work with would be anything that is less than 2 minutes on an unprepared subject. And that is pretty awesome fast. Most people who claim to do fast speed inductions, if you look it up on the web, it would be people standing talking to other people for quite some time and then do the induction and they're still not there and they're just deepening them, twisting their heads like that, pulling them towards them, stuff like that, and it's awful. I do believe it's awful. Is that his name? Does something like he really pulls people really hard, their arm, and tuck them in like that, keeping them steady and really shaking them. It has nothing to do with speed induction. People are kind of, paralyzed from that, and well, maybe they just give in because they think there's no other way out of that. if I just play along, maybe this, crazy guy is gonna let me go somehow. I don't know. But it's all about what people miss is also the fact that people still think that you have like trigger points somewhere on the body. You might have that, but it has nothing to do with the speed induction. So you have to understand that there's kind of 3 sections that need to meet somewhere in the middle. One of them is actually what you as a facilitator needs to do to create something happen. The other thing is all the surroundings. Okay? Third thing is the client, the subject. Okay? Within those 3 sections, there might be a lot of stuff like how you're going to speak, how they behave, what kind of surroundings you have. Is it a light room like this? Is it dark? Are you using a chair? Are the sound? Stuff like that. All of those things are events. Okay? So the more events you will actually see, the bigger chance you get to actually do a fast speed induction. So what most people think is when we do a fast speed induction is actually how to read the script correctly and fast enough. It's nothing to do with the script only. That's only one event from this whole session. Okay? So if we get that event to cross, that they're actually exhaling, that they're actually blinking because you created a pattern, that you're actually shocking them physically, maybe even mentally, that you're actually giving them a direct command, maybe even indirect command, and everything crosses each other at the same time, then you get something I call the moment of what. The moment of what is not good enough. The moment of what is the space of time that you will get where your client is in some kind of shock and really open to any kind of suggestion. That lasts between 1.001 second or 0.00001 second and maybe last up to max of 2 seconds. That's it. So the size of the moment of what we really need to get that large enough so we're able to behave or give instructions or deepen them or whatever. If you just do a fast speed induction like sleep and that's it and just walk away, they'll wake themselves up, no trouble at all. So it's also a speed induction. You also need to remember the deepening right after and giving them a suggestion that now I will leave it, and every breath, every word, every step that you hear that I'm walking away from you, you go even deeper. So you use that as a deepener. Because then they feel secure just being there. Instead of just sleep, deeper, deeper, deeper down, and you leave them. Then they will also wake them, open up their eyes and wake up, all right? So the moment of what, we need to turn that into something way better. And I call that the moment of wow. That when people is really getting the trance experience. It might be light trance, it might be medium, it might be very deep trance. Nevertheless, trance is trance, okay? If they have the experience sitting on a chair thinking, well, I'm really just sitting here with my eye closed, it feels kind of great, I don't need to open my eyes. I'm keeping myself in this position for a while, and let's see what's happening. That's trance. Still with the conscious mind being active, very active, but they're still sitting, still staying there with their eyes closed. Everybody tells me after experiencing fast speed induction or even trance that I could just have walked away from that. I could just have stood up from that chair and just walked away. I said, of course you could.
You didn't.
Nobody, exactly, you didn't. Nobody forced you to stay there, but you felt, I guess, that it was perfectly all right to just do that. Otherwise, you would have left. And since you did it, it must be that you have some kind of trust in me or the situation. If a moment of what is not turned into a moment of wow, I call it the moment of what the fuck just happened. So the whole concept is still working so now, right? So it's all about the moment of what. And to have you guys experience, how easy it is to confuse the conscious mind and how actually just to be honest, how dumb it is. We might do a small exercise. We could do everyone at the same time. So what I need you guys is actually just to do what I do. Is everybody up for that?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Is everybody able to use their arms? Yeah? Okay. So what you need to do is actually pay attention to what I do, and we do this one step at a time, and I will show you how easy it is, okay? So do this with your arms. Thumbs up, right? Right thumb, turn it down, and already at this moment some people have trouble finding the right arm. Kind of funny, isn't it? That's the mirror effect somehow, okay? So we have the left arm, and we do exactly the same thing, thumbs down. Right arm all the way above your left arm, clasp together, and just stretch your thumbs down towards the floor, okay? If you bend your elbows just a little bit and create a circle with your arms, and you look down that circle and you swiggle your thumbs, you could actually see your thumbs. Is that correct? Yeah? And CD? Not my thumbs, your thumbs. But stretch out as far as possible. It might hurt a little bit in your fingers, but stretch out and be ready to do exactly what I do. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Right. So, what just happened? We did a simple exercise.
You got screwed up.
Yeah, you kind of screwed up. The only way this can happen is if you detach your right arm at your shoulder, twist it one round, and put it right back. Otherwise, it cannot happen. Yeah.
I give up.
Good idea. Otherwise, you would sit like that for the rest of the evening. What happened was that we did a simple step-by-step thing. Your attention can only be focused on one thing at a time.
Oh, and we looked down at
So while you were looking at your thumbs thinking, it's true, I can actually see my thumbs. I was doing something over here with CD, waiting for him to look at me and said, no, not my thumbs. Twisted it around and did like that. Instead of going from this place, I just twisted it, said, your thumbs, and said to everyone, stretch out like that. And it looks like my arms is in exactly the same position. But the real miracle is what happens afterwards. Because when I do this, most of you people in a split second will realize something just happened. Some people would know, he tricked me. But still, your brain kind of copes with that and thinks, I saw something twist all the way around. His arms suddenly just dissolved and got together like that. Because your body knows what you just saw was impossible, whatever. And what happens right then, the brain happens to you guys every single minute of your life. When you see something, not really realizing what it is, and your mind creates a different reality of it. So most of what you guys see and experience is false. Doesn't happen. That's why we've got clients thinking that they know exactly what's wrong with them, and it's not. Same thing. So that was just to explain, how dumb we really are, because we are. But if you're just in trance, perfect. All right. So if you go back to this one, the formula of this, can I have a couple of guesses what the first two T's is all about? T times T. What could T stand for?
Talking, time,
Time is one of them.
trance, touch.
What does it take for somebody else to say it's all right, you can work on me?
Trust.
All right. Time times trust creates the first parameter. What do you call it?
Parameter.
Parameter. If we multiply that by the next one, that is E times C second. What could that be? E?
Expected.
We actually almost just talked about it.
Experience.
Events. And the two C's is the two conscious minds, the unconscious and the conscious mind. Okay? So when we have time and trust and multiply that with the number of events we got and the impact we can do on both conscious minds, we can create the moment of what. That's what it's all about. That's the formula.
The moment of what?
But-
It should be a W instead of a V.
Oh yeah, sorry. You only saw a W. True. So, this is actually, if you know this, you can put this on top of any speed induction technique, because if you know this, you can make that faster, more efficient, and you can do it in, in a more powerful way. Because events, if we talk about events, could you come up with a couple of events? What would happen in a situation like that that could be an event? What could that be? Breath, blink with an eye, what else? Come on, guys. But this is kind of interesting because what most people don't know is everything that's actually happening in a situation like that, and if we don't utilize it,
Lacrimation, blinking,
lacrimation,
relaxation, phase, breathing,
Focus,
relaxation,
defocus.
body focus, yeah.
all of that, shock,
Pupil salad.
same thing,
Possible.
rapport,
Especially if they're attracted to you. Yeah.
swallowing,
If
also.
somebody's attracted to you, there are other people who automatically acknowledge.
Yeah. And on drugs at the same time.
Same thing.
Yeah. Same kind of hormones, right? So if you know this, I have like a big, PDF of all the events, how to utilize that and all that, but I'm not going to give it to you right now because it's kind of a couple of hours of another information. What I rather would do is actually give a couple of demos and have you guys exercise a couple of, fast speed inductions, right? Who have tried a fast speed induction? Yeah? Yeah. So you know exactly how it works?
No.
You get the feeling? What kind of a laugh is that?
We've had some fun.
Yeah. So you know it. Yeah. Good idea. But how powerful is suggestion really? How much do we need to tell the client or the subject before we do it? Could we just go up to some random person saying sleep, yell it loud as possible, and they go to sleep?
Occasion.
What?
Occasion.
It would happen maybe one guy out of 500.
Yeah. I was going to say 1,000.
1,000 might be more likely, yeah. Because they know how to do it, otherwise they wouldn't. So we need to establish something. We need to establish a connection and an expectation. I would rather have that expectation not being conscious, but unconscious. So a way to do that would be very indirect. Do you know that feeling when you just sit down, kind of present but still in another place? Having a thought, maybe a conversation but still not there, but just feeling great inside. Do you know that kind of feeling? Okay. Am I telling you to feel that right now? Not directly, but I'm asking you, do you know it? If a person kind of just nods to that, you got that feeling going on already. What would you say if you could get that feeling and experience that just by a sudden shock, sudden word, whatever, just like a funny word like sleep, it could be amazing good nap. All right, so we already got the instruction. So how long time did it actually take me to say those two things? Less than 10 seconds. Okay. And if we got all the rapport, could we actually just go ahead and do it? Yeah, we could. It would still require something though, that the person who's being worked on actually want to go there. They might not know it, they might know it, but if all the rapport is there, I would still just go ahead and do it. What might happen would be something like, let's give an example. Can you get up here, Steve?
Should I take my glasses off now?
No.
Make sure I'm not hitting the floor.
Nothing, yeah. But we're just going to do a fake one with you pretending that we're actually resisting.
Okay.
Something like that. Because when you do something like that, usually when people do it and just stand like that and say sleep or whatever, and nothing really happens, or he goes down just for a short while and wakes up, it was like, okay, sorry, it didn't work. I would never do that. I would just continue.
That's exactly
Yeah, exactly like that.
So much right.
You can see exactly that. You got that control, right? Just look at my eyes and we just do it again, and then we'll do it once more. Some people, by defense, they will start laughing, maybe still standing with the heads bowed and relaxed, but kind of giggling. I said, it's perfectly all right. You can go all the way down, laughing all the way down, just like that, right? Something like that. So always continue. Thanks. Always continue working on what you do. Otherwise, you will completely lose that authority of yours. Okay?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Because you were looking at us, and I know because we're a crowd, but like on the video that you showed us today, she was looking when she said sleep, like not to get eye contact with. Was there a reason you weren't getting eye contact with him, or were you just speaking to us
That was
now
just
to
an
show
example.
us?
I was not trying to get him anywhere. I was
Right,
just
but if
telling
you
you guys.
were,
If
would
I were,
you-
it would be way different.
Yeah. Okay.
I would say it like this.
I'll take my glasses off.
Yeah, I would say it like this. Steve might recognize this also. If I had intent of actually taking him somewhere,
Yeah.
he would not doubt that in any way, because it's all about the look. It's all about the sudden connection that gets there right away.
So it's important for them.
Definitely.
Yeah.
What happens when you can say untrained people experience this, and we kind of just fooling around, and then suddenly we do it and attack them, with hypnosis, they will say afterwards, hey man, when you looked around the second time and looked me in the eye, wow, I knew something was going to happen. Exactly. It's not like I'm talking to you guys right now and I'm turning around and on the other way like, now we're ready, right? It's not that kind of weird look. But it would be an intense connection that they feel that nobody else matters at that moment. They feel all the focus is exactly on them, and they might have a hard time looking me in the eye because they feel, oh shit, something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Wow. That's the intense look, and that's a powerful part of what you do. That also that any client of yours, any subject of yours, need to know that you can hypnotize anyone, anytime, anywhere. And that can only happen if you trust that you can hypnotize anyone, anytime, anywhere. So that confidence needs to be there somehow. Second thing that is very crucial when we do fast speed inductions is safety, 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 safety. I have some videos, I might show them tomorrow, with people doing stage hypnosis, street hypnosis, and it goes so wrong. Floppers falling over, hitting the head on metal rods lying on the floor. I actually have a video of a stage hypnotist hypnotizing somebody in a wheelchair sitting amongst the people on stage, and they're doing this act of flying World War II planes, shooting each other, and the act is all about that suddenly they got shot down, and he yells to them, eject, eject, eject. And the guy in the wheelchair sitting with a stiff leg like that in cast and everything is suddenly wheeling all the way out to the edge of the stage, going all the way down, landing on his foot like that, and falling over on his head.
Oh, gosh, so
And what happens? What happened is actually the stage hypnotist is only concerning about the other ones. It's all right, just stay seated. It's okay. Did anything happen? He's all right. Okay, just like that. What the fuck? First of all, if you have disabled people, never have them to be in stage shows like that, because if something happens, they need to move. And they need to be able to move. So that applies to pregnant people, disabled people, people with, you know, who's not that smart anyway. German people, especially.
Aliens.
You want to go back to Germany now? No, we like you.
You're part of the family.
Or I may be from your planet.
Yeah, that's true. So we have to understand that doing this, we need to work with someone that is kind of able to express what they feel like, able to communicate, able to take care of themselves, and it doesn't really harm them that they're kind of clever. The clever they are, the more intelligent in many ways, the easier it is to them to adapt whatever kind of situation I'm putting them in and imagine what happens when I'm talking about, you know, imagery in some kind of way. The dumber, the more difficult. Some people would not recognize what it would feel like to stand on the beach, watch the sun, and feel the X-rays, not the X-rays, but the sun rays hitting them right there in the forehead. Right? Like, I don't know what a sun ray is. Okay.
In the southern accent.
Hello, Josh. Hello, Josh.
Only Yankees are good people, right?
You said that.
No, I'm just making fun. I'm dead serious. No. So we just have to accept that there needs to be some knowledge there, right? But we will know that right away. Some of the things I do when I meet people for the first time, I've done it with most of you actually, that I have this kind of double blink with my eye when I talk, you know, having kind of a personal talk, or just stand there, having eye contact, and I do that. The first thing that would happen is either you blink twice at the same right after, or your eyelids are getting stiff, like you're kind of staring, because your whole body system actually got the message that something happened and they do not know how to respond. Those two reactions is kind of cool, because I know that they're aware of something. The conscious mind is not, but the unconscious is definitely ready and up to something. If they just go ahead and nothing happens and just continue, it needs some more work. Okay? So I'm looking for that. Everybody's picking up something all the time.
For what purpose again? You're just doing it to see if they're paying attention?
Yeah.
Like a gauge almost, right? Of where
Kind
they
of.
are.
To check how easy it would be to put them into trance. Because that gives me some advantage when I'm going to work with them later, or show them something or whatever, mislead them in any kind of direction I would like when I'm doing conversation with them. Could be anything. Because that is all about attention. Because talking about attention in some way would be quite crucial when you actually speak with people, okay? Because attention is actually where your focus is going to be on the conscious level.
Not messing with us.
And that's what I did with the lady that you... Hello?
Oh, you're having a meeting?
Yeah, he
Yeah?
is.
Are you the dancer? we asked for male dancer.
Where's your dress? Okay.
I can do that.
So, I'll fix the room up for tomorrow.
It's perfect, we got it.
Okay.
It's alright. I tell the front desk you messed it up, it's okay.
Are you having a time that we're ending?
No.
I thought we had a demonstration.
I like this one. It's Friday.
It is.
Don't have too high thoughts about me, especially not on a Friday.
Friday.
Where was I? Okay, yeah, attention. Something before my answer. Attention. Well, when I did this, it just tells me how easy it would be to mislead or even just, create focus with you guys. Most people who are really conscious about, having the attention somewhere can only be focused on one thing only. So when I'm doing this, I know that most people have the urge that really wants to check it out because I'm pointing at something. And the same moment they're going to look at that, they're not really listening to what I'm saying. Can we use that in any kind of speed induction? Definitely. Have you ever seen a guy called John Sabone? No? He's a New Yorker. He's, him and one guy, called him Trance Masters, something like that. He's a little guy, he's got a real New Yorker accent, and he does like the hand drop induction really good. But he adds something to it. He calls it the Butterfly Induction, because at the same time we were going to do the hand drop, with his other hand he's doing this butterfly in front of people, and he starts to talk like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Don't look down! Don't look down! Look at the butterfly! Something like that. And people are completely confused about that, forgetting all about pressing down, looking at that, Austrian-speaking butterfly or whatever, and suddenly they're told to go to sleep, and they do. It's a good one. It's all about, paying attention to something else but what's going to happen, because it will happen. And that's just one way to do it. Confusion, all of that. Confusion combined with focus, all of that, it works. Okay? So attention is definitely something that we need to have. At least just them looking at us. Also, pattern interrupts. Do you know what that is? A pattern interrupt? Everybody? Okay. It works in many ways, actually, because what happened over there, he's kind of confused right now, right? I was doing something, he expected something else to happen, and I changed that. So there was a leap of time in his conscious mind right now. Usually the most easy way to do it is another thing we go like, thanks for coming. Just look at that hand there right now, just look at that hand. What happened? His body kind of awaits something to happen now, or finish that handshake. But right now he needs to look at that, but you can look at my hand over there. Okay, something happened, right? So if I was to do a fast speed induction right now, I'll just let this hand some kind of accumulate, him going into a sleep and just feeling nice and relaxed, and let go of that arm and just, go all the way. And do my hypnosis, waking up and say, thanks, all right, hey, buddy, thanks for joining. And when I do that, you're back in the room, actually. What he kind of misses out on is everything that happened from I just interrupted that, had him look at his hand, doing something to him, and completed that. Most people kind of do not really get what happened in between them. You're not in trance now, see?
I'm trying to go. Whatever you did.
That one I left. So, all of those things combined somehow together would be a perfect way of working. Would you say your guys' imagination is quite good? Yeah? Do you have imagination? Everybody has. Are you connected with it? Would everybody do like that? And then actually point your index fingers out like that. Turn it upside. Have a distance, maybe an inch, maybe 2 between them. And just look at that space between the fingers. Just focus on that space between the fingers. And right now imagine, with all that creative imagination you got, that a large, thick rubber band is put on the top of those fingers, trying to squeeze them together. And what you're trying to do right now is actually pull them apart. The more you're going to pull them apart, the tighter they get, the closer they get. The tips of those fingers will just get tighter and tighter and tighter. The more you try to pull them apart, they just get tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. The more muscles you're going to use in that, they're just getting tighter and tighter. All right. So some people got some imagination. Some people is trying to use it and just release it once again. Okay. And this would be actually a normal reaction, having people, like how many are we, like 14, 12 people, something like that, that half would definitely have a reaction to that, okay? Because that's a very short one. Using that imagination. Some people are staring at that and not remembering, but forgetting that they're actually using their hands right now, that they should use their fingers, but they're still just staring at that space between the fingers, forgetting all about using the muscles. All right, so do we need to do something else, something extra with those people? Definitely. Do you all know the hand clasp? You don't?
Oh, the
You
blue.
can drop us. That lady.
All right, you know the hand clasp? Good. So if everybody sits like that and actually use the muscles and make sure that your hands, your palms are squeezed together like this and just straighten it out like that, as if you're actually pulling a rope like that, ringing the big church bell or whatever, and just keep it steady like that and actually squeeze your fingers together. Just focus on those fingers right now, looking at your thumbs, just staring at those thumbs, feeling every finger just squeezing tighter and tighter, and using those muscles as if you're squeezing all the air out between those hands right now. And just look at your own thumbs, keep staring at them, and feel how the tension builds up from the forearm, all the way up the upper arm, all the way up to the shoulder, as all the blood is actually rushing to those hands right now, helping your muscles just to squeeze them tighter and locking together, completely locking, squeezing tighter and tighter and tighter. Just imagine that as if this was a cannonball, your hands were got stuck in that right now, melted together. Just use that imagination, both hands just melting together, becoming one right there, as if they're glued together, the world's strongest glue, and just feel that tension just getting tighter and tighter and tighter. Just use those muscles tighter and tighter. In a short moment, I will allow you to try and pull them from each other, and they will just get tighter and tighter and tighter. Just use those muscles tighter and tighter. Just try, give it a try, and pull them apart, and they will just get tighter and tighter and tighter. Just do that right now. Try to pull them apart, they will just get tighter and tighter and tighter. Do everything you can just to pull them apart. All right, just stay like that. Just stay like that. Look at my hands right here. Just look at my hand right there. Just look at my hand, everyone, right there. In a moment, something is going to happen. Suddenly something is going to happen. When it happens, your body knows exactly what's going to happen. Just as if a spring was between your hands and they would blow from each other, away from each other. Suddenly, just like that. See what happens. Most of you can actually just move. All right. Just look at my finger. Just look at my finger right there. And I'm going to touch it. On your hand somewhere, that spring is going to eject. Those fingers are going to jump away from each other. Easy as nothing. Just like that. You can actually do this in the air. Anybody else got stuck? No. All right. That was just a hand clasp. Clasp. That was a little bit more advanced than just doing this one, because there was some more power to it. You used some more muscles. It was not only visual, it was also a lot of other stuff that happened right there. This is mostly visual, creating those things out there. And if you're not visual, what the hell, it's not going to work anyway. Okay? So how can we now proceed from a hand clasp to a speed induction? What do you think? This is what I call a hypnotic test or hypnotic challenge. Some people still train other people how to do suggestion tests. What do we call them? Suggestibility tests. I never do that. Why the hell should I do that? Either my client go to trance or they don't. If I give them the chance of failing that test, why would they want to go to trance afterwards? Dealing with deep issues, traumas, whatever. Would it really tell me how deep they would go from doing, a test? We just did 2. Half didn't succeed on the first one, so if I'm using that, that's kind of the wrong picture, isn't it? On the second one, most of you actually got stuck in that, but it still does give, it doesn't give the right picture. Because one-on-one, if everybody wanted, 5 minutes, you're gone. You've been doing this the past 3 days, no problem. So it's all about trust. It's all about, leaving opportunity for failure. Definitely. So a lot of things needs to happen at the same time, but you can use all the tests and convert those into, inductions. Right? Anybody wants to be induced fast? You're pretty fast at joining, yeah?
I'm a trans junkie.
Trans junkie?
Yeah.
Okay. Take a seat. Of course. Yeah, perfect. You move a little bit to the side. All right. What did I just do?
Compliance.
You got it, Jeff. Perfect. So, sorry?
Good student.
Good student.
Yes.
Massive.
How many speed inductions do you think you have tried before?
Didn't try.
You didn't try it?
Good student.
Good student. How many have you done?
30.
30?
Yeah.
How many different kinds?
You mean I do them or I?
You actually experienced them?
40, 50.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many different kinds have you tried?
10.
Tried?
Yeah. Yeah.
10? 10 different?
Yeah.
Which one would you say would work the best?
It's absolutely doesn't matter for me.
Doesn't matter?
No.
Which one do you really like?
Fastest.
Yeah, which one would that be?
Hand drop or.
Hand drop?
Yeah.
So you know exactly how the hand dropping works?
Yeah.
Okay. Placing the hand, pushing it down.
Yeah.
Doing the counting also? Or do you want to do something extra exactly?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So, you guys know the hand drop? The hand drop is all about, I'm placing my hand like that. I can easily, maintain my strength in that because I'm standing like that. He's sitting down, so he needs to push it down, and I can easily lock my arm. So the challenge for me is to keep his arm going. He still keeps trying to push it down while I give his conscious mind something else to focus about. That could be counting. So I might ask him to count with me, like 5, 4, 3, and then suddenly say 6, 7, 8 or something, so he's confused. And what I'm checking at the same time is his breath, his eyes, so I get the pattern. So I can get all the events crossing each other and create my moment of what. Okay? So you know the hand drop. That's kind of perfect because we're gonna do it. And first of all, the other arm, and not until I say so. So you just keep it like that?
Yeah.
Okay. So what we need to get is absolutely full attention. Are you sitting all right?
Yeah.
You know what, no matter what happens, you will stay right there in the seat?
Yeah.
Perfect. So it could either be a shock, it could be a command, it could be any kind of thing, but he knows already what it's going to be. It's going to be either one of those. Okay? Maybe all of them all together. So what we're going to do right now is just going to place my hand like that. And if you take a look at it, you need to sit a little bit differently. Do it like that. Okay, do it again. Just sleep. All the way, just like that. All the way. Just let it go. Just let it go. Keep in the seat, in the chair, feeling absolutely great. And on the count of 3, you're going to wake up, open your eyes, feel completely relaxed and happy because all of these things that happened in the last 3 days is just amazing. 1, 2, 3, just like that. Is that great?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I like it.
What happened was that I suddenly realized that he's been watching a couple of videos of mine on the web. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
So he knew that I was going to attack him when he touched me the second time. And since I knew that, I would not do that. Because then I could make another shot. And I could see that when you placed your hand in mine the second time and nothing happened, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then I did it. So I got the full attention, I got the full shock anyway. So the more you know about the person, the better.
When your body was in the way, from my view, when he put his hand on yours,
Yeah.
and you decided that moment of truth, did you use your other hand to force?
Yeah, what I
that
actually
as
do,
well?
just to show it, when he pressed down like that,
Yeah.
I'm actually just doing like that.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
For the
it
direction
looks kind
too.
of you felt it? It looks kind of brutal, but I'm actually barely touching him. His whole body does the job for me.
Yeah.
So the misconception about this and what you see in videos on the web is actually people
It
pulling
looks,
them.
Yeah.
And that's violently, and you can easily dislocate a shoulder, you can easily destroy something in the neck, and I never want to do that.
But you also maintain control at that point too,
Yeah,
so that
definitely.
you won't.
I need to control him because I need to make sure that he just doesn't fall out of his chair.
Yeah.
I made the security check within that, but still he could easily go to the floor.
Yeah.
So I need, when I do the pull, I'm making sure that he's actually not going anywhere. And right away, did you realize how fast I deepened him?
Yeah.
I did it 3 times within a couple of seconds, just going like deeper like that, you know? Because he sat with his one arm like that, that's uncomfortable. The first thing I look for when people go down like that is if they sit uncomfortable, they might not be there very long.
Yeah.
So I can easily, if you just sit down like with the arm in the way like that, just bow down. that's not necessarily uncomfortable. So what I easily just do is just take it and just go deeper, because now I've got the full attention. And he feels like, okay, I can go even deeper actually. Right?
Did you
So-
say deeper?
Sorry?
Did you say deeper?
Yeah. Just allow yourself to go deeper. And the timing on that is also kind of crucial if you want the full effect of that. I'm not saying like this, just go deeper. Well, or just go deeper. Now he's not relaxed in any way, but just go deeper. Just like that. The timing is so powerful, you don't need to do it that many times. Maybe just a single time.
Kind of like, I don't know if this is the right term, but almost like an anchor, right?
It's definitely an anchor.
connecting that.
It is an anchor.
Okay.
Definitely an anchor.
Yeah.
And another thing, Olga is just sitting on a chair right now. But if he went down, if it was only his head going down like that, and I actually deepened him from up here, letting his arm go all the way down, he would hit his hand on the chair. Or if he sat a little bit differently, he would punch himself in the groin. That's not very funny. So you also...
It depends who it is.
It would be funny if I punched him in the groin. I'm not doing that. So I also need to take care of him not getting hurt in any way. So if I'm going to use his hands and I can see he's actually going to hit that, I would rather do it on this side so he actually just stops himself by his leg or something like that. And his arms will not be in the way. It would not be, very good for him to go too deep down between his legs like that. I would rather have the arms by the side because you do not go that deep. But you're still very relaxed. You actually go deep into trance, but your body do not just, flatten out like that.
But at no point did you ever say, I'm going to do something and you're going to drop. But there's where is the suggestion of that?
I made the induction when he sat down inside of this room. Do you all know that feeling of just being there, being present, and still not being present? All of you got that already. So I know that expectation is within you, so I did not have to tell him. And I told him, the only thing I actually told you was, something will happen. It might be a word, it could be a shot, could be anything, it might be all of them. So I'm kind of pretty, safe in what I do, because if I do something suddenly, his body will know that's the thing. So I also need to be careful not doing something that would be suddenly, because then he will drop himself.
So you could have made another suggestion. Like, that feeling when you're like...
I could say fish and he would drop. If I say fish...
No, but I'm saying the suggestion of falling asleep on a couch is the one that you made. But you could have said, the feeling when you're so excited you're going to jump up and down. That could have been made earlier. And then you could have said the thing with the arm and he would have done something else.
No.
So, never mind. Go ahead.
That's the next part.
Okay.
If he was still in trance, and I would want him to do something like that is not relaxing, not inducing in any way, but having him jumping up and down because he felt like a 7-year-old and that could be fun, I would do that after the trance.
So once he's sort of like mud, then you can like make him do whatever you want.
He's very open to suggestions.
One suggestion. The gum in your mouth.
Yeah. That's one thing,
Yeah.
So even though he knows something's coming, he's expecting for that just,
Exactly.
he's prepared that something's going to happen.
And it's not like he's finished now, he's not done now. It's all a matter of trust still. I might be able to attack him whenever. And he would not know it.
In your sleep.
If you wanted to resist
Sorry?
if you really wanted to resist you, could he?
He could. If he felt like not doing it, he could definitely resist. I'm down about that.
But if you're in that sense of waiting for that thing to happen, then you're in that space.
Yeah,
as
he's
that
kind of waiting
person
for it. His conscious mind might be thinking, when is it going to happen? We're going to figure it out and try and analyze it. Could I be faster than him? Is it really going to happen? And then suddenly I say something and the rest of the body goes, yeah, we're going! And then that's really what's happening. It is. So when we got it the first time, it's kind of easy to work with because he's not really awake. He is awake though, but he's still in some kind of connection with that trance, and it would be easier and easier every time we did it. Okay?
Is that fractionation kind of?
Well, the deepening and the up and down would definitely be fractionation.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
And one more.
I'm giving you a star.
Thank you. Is one more? The gum was purely a safety issue on.
That is safety. That is safety.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't be concerned about the gum in the mouth when we go forward.
Right.
But if he was lying down on his back,
Sure.
it would be a problem.
Yeah.
Because it might be stuck underneath the tongue and might swallow it or whatever, something like that, right? But how did it feel like? Fast?
Yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah, I like it.
You relaxed?
Yeah.
That's no doubt about that. So that's a good thing. So another thing I'm going to show you. Have you guys seen handshakes, inductions, stuff like that?
So,
Yeah, certainly. Okay. So what do we do? Perhaps you should stand up.
Yeah.
So no matter what happens, you will be standing on your legs, keeping your balance, but just let go. I will catch you if anything happens. You know, what I'm doing is actually just locking it like that, and usually when we have a big guy like that, I use 2 fingers on this place. Why do you think I do that? 2 reasons. Nurse, what is it that you can feel at this, Delana? Pulse. Okay. So by not watching him right now, I got everything. I got his breath from this hand. I'm placing a hand on the collarbone and the other one with my palm on his shoulder. I can feel when he's taking his breath. I got his pulse on this one, and at the same time, if I'm asking him to relax, I can check it not by doing these kind of movements, but I'm just doing like that. I'm just moving this finger. I can feel it all the way up his shoulder and his neck, and I know he's kind of relaxed right now. So that's it. I've seen those people starting to do like that, and that's actually just programming the body. And to give you an example of that, if you just keep your hand like that, okay? So what I'm going to do right now is just push it against mine when I'm doing that. Kind of feeling that, just keep it steady, but hold it against mine. We're programming the body right now. Saw that? That's programming the body. He might not know it, but something happens. We created a pattern, and the body reacts to that. Same thing I'm doing right here. I'm checking all of the things that's happening. His breath, you know. So we could take him down when we wanted to, all the way. Could be the moment, you never know it. Suddenly it just happens. Could be any time. Sleep, just from there, just like that. Just relax. Just relaxing. Just relaxing. Feeling nice and safe, just like that. Keeping the balance on both legs. Feeling that big smile of yours happening right inside of your stomach right now. Building up. And in a moment, when I count from 1 to 3, you will open your eyes, and that smile will just hide inside of your mouth. But when you look at me into the eyes, that smile will erupt. As a laugh, as a giggle, as something you cannot hold back because it just feels so great to feel the life within you, laughing whenever you got contact with my eyes, and you really want that contact because it feels so great every time you feel it. 1, 2, 3, just open your eyes, just like that. So what just happened was that we looked at Oliver just like that. He feels kind of good, relaxed, isn't that right? Yeah. And it's a good feeling.
How long would that last?
Sorry?
How long would that last?
Well, as long as I wanted to, as long as he wanted to. Well, he's the one who decides it, but I'm going to erase it in a moment. Right? Yeah. So. Yeah, you can just go ahead. Yeah. So, did you guys see what I did when I was holding his hand while I was talking? Actually kind of instructing you guys, telling what I was doing. I was actually telling him exactly what to do, isn't that right?
Yeah.
Yeah? Can you feel it?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, it happens again. Yeah, exactly. So, what I did, I talked about taking him down, and every time I did that, I made this movement. Okay? I anchored it.
Yeah.
And suddenly I just did it. Okay? What happened was that he actually went a little bit further down than he expected, than I expected, and safety was suddenly an issue. That is why he actually pulled himself up a little bit and felt my hand again, and he let go once more. That was actually what happened.
Yeah.
Okay? And we can feel quite happy about that, and we can just release that laugh, simple as that, and it's gone. So we can be, serious again.
Yeah.
In a good way. Perfect. That's how it works.
but still.
It might just build up and build up and build up, and suddenly it's just so crazy. You know? It's so crazy. Imagine how it would be if a Doberman suddenly started laughing like that. That would be kind of crazy, wouldn't it? Yeah, I think so too. So what we could do is actually, if I can just have you to sit down once more, just like that. All right. Just feel great. Exactly. Oh, it feels so great. Feels so great. What happens in a moment when I count from 1 to 3, you will open your eyes and everything would be normal except from Jeff. Jeff kind of looks like a Doberman. Yeah, that's kind of funny. So the look you will give him exactly like, what the hell happened, Jeff? And when he stands up and you see that wolf on his shirt, it's kind of eerie in a weird kind of way because he looks like, you know, a Doberman. Even though with his nice beard and all of that, but it's like his nose is suddenly just grown. He looks like it, and he will look like him on him like the weirdest thing is happening, trying to help him because Jeff needs to know because that is so weird. He needs to go check himself. And that will happen. You might laugh of it right now, but when you open your eyes on the count of 3, that will happen when you look at him. Right there. 1, 2, 3. Just like that. Simple as possible. So, are you guys learning something?
Yes, sir.
Yeah? A little bit?
Learning a lot.
Yeah? What do you think? Could you stand up, please? What did you get from this whole exercise so far?
It's been incredible.
Good boy, come here. Jeff.
Yeah? Are you okay?
It's weird, yeah.
You slept with him tonight, right? Separately?
Yeah.
Did you bath?
Not normally.
No? No?
But
He's kind of a weird dog, isn't he? Yeah. That's all right. You can sit down. And sometimes, you know what happens? Could you take up your arm like that? Just look at it. And just, stare at this point right there. And if you really look at it, it's kind of, the colors changes just a little bit. All the lines that you will see in your hand changes just a little bit. And the closer it gets to your face right now, the more you just want to close your eyes because it feels so relieving just closing them, just getting there completely. And with that hand suddenly just drops, you drop, and it feels just amazing, just like that. Exactly. Stay in your seat just like that, keeping that balance, but just going even deeper, even deeper, even deeper down. Feels so great. In a moment, I'm going to count from 1 to 3. When you open your eyes on the count of 3, you think that you have never been hypnotized before. That will happen until I say the word trance, then you will know exactly what happened. But until then, if I say hypnosis, if I say you've been hypnotized, it's a lie. I'm cheating. Everybody could see that you have never been hypnotized before. Might get a little bit angry for me saying that you were actually hypnotized. And it's not cool because I used to be a cool trainer, but now I'm a fraud. I'm an idiot. Pretty simple. Until I say the word trance, you will know exactly what happened, and you feel great about that. 1, 2, 3, just like that. So this is how easy it is to be hypnotized like that. Okay? Have some of you tried to be hypnotized as Oliver just was? How does it feel to be hypnotized like that?
I never was.
You was.
No.
Was he not hypnotized?
Yes.
Yeah? A little bit or a lot?
A lot.
A lot?
No.
Not at all? It's kind of weird, isn't it?
And you can't do that.
I just did it 3 times in a row. So, what is the feeling getting hypnotized, going down, relaxing? So what were you doing if you want to hypnotize? Your hands were on the floor, you were all the way down?
No.
Did you lose something?
No. I never was.
You never was?
No.
But they're telling you that you actually were hypnotized? They're liars? Never mess with a German. All right. So, is it because I did something wrong? Because I do believe I hypnotized you.
No.
No?
No.
Not at all?
No.
Then I might have done something wrong, I guess, if it didn't work. Because sometimes when you use the word hypnosis, there's different varieties of how to use that word,
Yeah, but you can't.
No, that's true. That's true. But you might just have been into trance, just like that. Yeah, okay. Just so we can get that settled, right? Give him a hand of applause.
you know you're saying no?
What?
Do you remember?
That I say no? Yeah, of course. I remember all.
You remember all of it?
All of it, yeah. of
What
course.
did I tell him when I said the word trance? He would remember everything. Okay? But the reality, you can correct me if you feel like it, because I know it from myself, the reality is when you get that instruction, you might not really accept it while you're being in trance, but what happens when you open your eyes is like, there's no way out. You want to do it. And he didn't get that angry, I hope for, but he got angry. And when he says no, he definitely means it. Is that correct?
Yeah.
You thought I was an idiot, right?
I'm too polite to say that.
But something happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you could see how his body language changed because he got anxious by sitting there, drumming away like, oh, shut the fuck up, knows this, whatever. And the word trance changed that. He almost went when I snapped my fingers and said trance, and then he came back with a smile, realizing that it was all fun and games. That's hypnosis.
What about the image of seeing someone that, you know, one minute you're seeing them?
Yeah. The dog.
Yeah.
You have a long nose.
Does it come back to you, that image?
Some
when,
people
you know,
might be very visual about it and do see it. Other people just know it and then it changes somehow and then it will happen. Sometimes one of the last acts I do when I do stage hypnosis would be me being invisible. And I can see people watch me, but they do not see me. It's kind of an eerie moment because when people watch me, I know they're seeing me. But in that case, it's like straight through. You know? And if I pick up something and they just watch me, it's actually just me walking like that. You know? But they look at this one, like hovering, floating through air, like, what? You know? So somebody, you know, once in a while when I do it, I've kind of experienced a couple of times that somebody took off the shoe and threw it at this one or whatever I picked up because it's a ghost. Oh, my shoe. Because you know ghosts are afraid of shoes. That's the kind of word. So it's kind of funny, and you know there's been experiments doing hypnosis and with a guy standing like this, making him invisible, and he had a note on his back. And the person in hypnosis over there could actually read that note. It's proven science, yeah.
So does he not
I know
see
the
that,
signs.
you know, will he not see the long nose and the dog, you know, after, or will that image come back?
It would not come back because I erased that.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He accepted it, and when he got back up, he would remember everything, and that's kind of the cue. So that's what happened. How did you see him? Did you see the nose?
At the first time, no.
You took a look at him again,
Yeah.
like, is it still there?
Well, that's and then the nose
Yeah.
was getting longer and longer. That's why I kind of leaned over and you just.
He checked it. That's funny, isn't it? Yeah. So, what do you guys say? Do you want to try a couple of inductions? Would that be fun?
Yeah.
So what I would like you to do is I could easily show this with the hand clasp. Could I show it on you? Yeah. Because you saw that earlier when it went wrong in the video, but we can utilize that and actually create an induction from that. So stay in your seat no matter what happens. Could you clasp your hand? And the whole, science about this is for you to know when to attack it. When I'm talking about attack it, it's actually say the cue, say the word, whatever it needs to be, because it's all about what you're watching. His whole body. I'm never standing like this, so I'm not able to see anything. I'm never sitting like this, so I can only see that. I would rather be a little bit in a distance like this, so I'm able to catch him, watch him, do whatever. Even if his left foot was doing this, it was a conscious reaction trying to maintain control like that, and I would need to deal with that. If I'm standing like that, I'm not able to see it. So I really want, for my safety and his safety, really want to see everything that's happening. Okay? So right now you know exactly how this works. So just start and clasp your hands together, use all that focus, just look right there. At that point exactly, just take a look all the way out there, just clasp it together, just feeling all that rush of the blood all the way out there. Every little touch, every little tightness you feel out there will actually just relax you, and then suddenly when something happens, you just release all of that energy. It will blow right into your body and just let it all drop completely down, just like that, exactly, just like that. Go deeper and deeper down, deeper and deeper down, exactly. All right, in a moment I'm going to count from 1 to 3. On the count of 3, maybe even 5. If you need more counts than that, you will do it yourself, but you will wake up with a smile on your face knowing exactly what just happened. And I do it on 5, on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like that. Feeling good, smiling. All right. Okay. Why did I attack when I did? Did you see what I was checking? Yeah?
Yeah.
He was doing like that. I was just, oh yeah. While I was doing this, what happened with his whole body, it was relaxed. There was still tension in his arms. His eyes kind of followed his thumbs. He really struggled not to just close those eyes. And I just kind of timed what I'm doing, and you could just go drop. I said drop, and I did like that, all the way down, and I just hit it right there. I actually just did like that. That was it, and that was enough to release all the energy. I just told him it would release all the energy, just flow inside of him, and just let him drop like that. That's why it happened. It felt good, right? Oh yeah. All right. So I would like you guys to do a hand clasp, one-on-one. Play with it and see if you can drop the other one. But you need to accept it. You need to want to play with it. But go ahead and play with it. I'll walk around and give you a couple of tips if you feel like it. But this is a chance to play with it, so do it. But safety first. No matter what happens, you will stay in your seat. Did you hear that? Good. Are you up for it?
Yeah, of course.
Do it.